What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Something Realistic podcast. It is me once again, Jay, with my best friend Red, and we're here to talk about stuff.
So we made a decision, even though it has been like 4 weeks now, to split the episodes bi-weekly, just so we're just not like storming through topics or just not making it like a what do you call it, like an obligation to do it.
True. And it just helps
It's
us overall with cuz if we keep talking about stuff every week, we're going to get burned out of it pretty quick, right?
Yeah. I mean, we usually just talk about stuff anyways. It's just that if we talk about stuff like in a span of an hour or more, like fucking 10 or 6 fucking topics that we go through, it's gonna be a bit not really tiring, but like, I guess, superficial. Because I feel like I'm just pushing through topics that don't necessarily like agree with both of us.
Mm,
It's usually just, oh yeah, what's the next topic? What's the next topic?
feels a little forced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather think about. I'd rather think about uh like what we can talk about rather than what we should talk about.
Oh yeah. Not to mention we also just have lives. We can't do YouTube full time. We got shit to do.
I
So
got bills to pay, bro.
it helps us
YouTube ain't
out.
YouTube ain't paying my bills.
It helps us out in multiple ways. But
Yeah, I'm just making sure, clearing it up.
oh yeah,
What was it? Clearing the air.
clearing the air, breach and
Yeah,
clear.
and I put my webcam on if I had one, and then do an apology video.
Let's go. Finally,
Clap
I've
my
been
hands
waiting for
first
it.
and then sigh.
You
Be like,
you have your cat on your lap and you look at him and you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this, even though I'm already recording.
I'm already recording and I have the script in front of me, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
I'm sorry, guys. And then whatever, extra, extra.
I'm sorry. 10 minutes of deflection.
Yeah, 10 minutes to fill the roll time.
Yes, sir. Pre, mid, and end roll ads too. But
I wish I could do
yeah, just cause drama on purpose and then fucking capitalize on it.
Yeah, and then get like 1 million or something views and be like, "Oh man, he really fucked up. I want to see his reaction."
And then do it all again 6 months later when your numbers start going down.
Yeah, and start a boxing match.
Oh yeah. Well,
I wish.
what's it called? How do we can't really segue from this to the
Not really, no.
no. So
So let's talk about something.
aliens are
Oh, you mean the Gray Hill incident?
huh?
Yeah, the Gray Hill instant. What incident? I can't talk.
What is that?
It's a video game.
Oh no. I was talking about real life.
Oh yeah, I know. You told me about this like 4-ish weeks ago.
Yeah,
You
that's when it
said you
happened,
wanted
I
to
think.
you said you wanted to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
But I found it weird that when you suggested it, um like a day after, like some of my coworkers were talking about aliens and I was like, I I guess it was like a topical thing
Yeah.
that had happened. I'm not really like into it like that, so I didn't know what's going on. So I just found it really weird that aliens just popped up like twice in a row
Yeah.
in 2 days.
That's because there was a hearing with some ex government employees, right? Uh and they had like a bunch of people there, and they were basically saying what they could that was currently declassified and like not gonna get them JFK'd, right?
Hmm.
About extraterrestrials. So they didn't say that they are for sure aliens, but they have non human biologics in their possession. They don't know
Like,
what it is, but they know it's not human.
I see.
Yeah,
Like, where did they come from? Just literally in space?
there was a lot they couldn't say,
Oh,
so we don't
okay.
know. But pretty much that was the summary of it, was that we have stuff. We don't know if it's an alien, but we know it's not ours.
It's yeah, it's not human made.
Yeah. And like,
Well, there's like it's a bit weird, right? Since if you're not gonna tell us like where it came from specifically, that's bound to be like, oh, that's a little bit weird, but what do you expect, right? We don't even know what the fuck going on underwater.
oh yeah.
So are you gonna tell us that it's not human made? How do you know that? Like some people don't even like know what the hell going on with like the people from the past. Like
Oh
we
yeah.
haven't even discovered like any like everything actually. We haven't known like everything in the planet yet. So maybe it's like I don't fucking know. That's why I wanted to know where it came from. If it either came from space, then sure, it's probably fucking aliens. Or if it probably came from underwater, then that's just a no brainer. That
Uh,
would just mean like, oh, there's people underwater. Like, who would have thought, right?
it says they were recovered from UFO crash sites. Now, here UFO is not synonymous with alien. It's literally just something in the atmosphere that's flying that we can't like identify, right?
Yeah,
But this is the part I wanted to talk about. People always think UFO equals little
alien.
green men fucking
Yeah,
in a flying saucer, right? It's not. It has never been that. That's
U
just like what the
UFO.
History Channel has used the word for.
Yeah, UFO has always been only one thing. It's always
Yeah.
been unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what object
Yeah.
it is. We just don't know what it is, and it's flying. Like if I saw an airplane and I didn't know it was an airplane, like very far off on the sky, and it only had like, sorry, it had like four fucking lights, which airplanes don't usually have. They only have like two to three.
Yeah. There's like,
So it would have like four fucking lights for some dumb fucking reason, and I'm like, damn, that can't be an airplane now, can it?
yeah.
So I don't know what that is. Was it maybe a weather balloon? I don't fucking know.
That's what it was in Florida. Or no, it was South Carolina, not Florida. The Chinese
Yeah,
weather
like
balloon.
it's the definition of the UFO has been just skewed into this like weird setting for just it being an alien thing,
Yeah.
like the Martian thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It has been like that for like generations now, to be
Probably
honest.
probably since like the 70s, I'd say,
Yeah.
when the I want to believe shit started popping off.
Like when people started like talking about like experiencing being fucking probed or whatever, or seeing UFOs like just land on their crop spaces or whatever the fuck they're talking about. Like it, most of them fake, obviously,
Yeah.
and like some of them, I guess they could be real, but I mean, who can say, right?
We literally have like no idea. So,
Well, unless the people who were talking about it actually, say something,
oh yeah.
but that's clearly impossible.
The the issue with like the alien abduction shit is that like 90% of those stories, no, 99% of those stories, there's no evidence.
Yeah,
You
like
can't like prove that because
I
Like
mean,
what? Are they gonna give you like a fucking souvenir little slap hand on the way out?
you could literally like do it as a human being rather than being a fucking alien.
Yeah.
You could literally abduct somebody and put like
What?
weirdo shit on their body,
That already
and then be like,
happens.
"Yep," and then be like, "Yep, that was an alien."
So yeah, it's an alien. Look, he's green, wearing like a fucking McDonald's mascot outfit. I don't know.
But like like I was saying earlier, like that as long as we don't know where it came from, whether from like up or below, then we're obviously gonna be like, oh yeah, it's either aliens or people from underwater or things from underwater.
Aquaman,
Yeah,
Jason
like
Momoa's down there.
we don't fucking know. So obviously,
Yeah.
like despite having like a lot of knowledge about space, since the space race and everything and whatever Elon Musk is doing,
Hmm.
like we know a lot. We know a lot more about space than the underwater. But despite knowing that, literally space is infinite,
As far as
and
we know.
underwater isn't. No, like even so, with how much we've discovered, our galaxy is not the only one. And if
Yeah.
there is another one, even more, then that's clearly there's a possibility that there's like a civilization that is way more advanced than us,
Oh yeah. Like
or like way way slower than us. It's possible.
that pretty much leans into like the whole like Fermi paradox, where like the universe is so fucking huge. Where is everyone?
I
Why
mean,
have none of them found us yet?
if you think about it, it's clearly like the advancement of technology that is the problem. We are like at this point where we are very close to what we can say the golden age, I guess,
Pretty
but
close.
not really.
Yeah.
We're getting there though.
We are pretty like exponential right now in terms of like technology development. Because like
Yeah,
from 2000 to now has been like insane.
and it's not even like
That's
a
only been
hundred years.
it's only been 23 years, bro.
So
Oh,
like,
it's a motorcycle.
so like, if you think about it, why would any planet be different? Why would any like place be different? Because no matter how many or how technology is that is advancing, space never changes. The
Well,
galaxy never changes, and it's not like it's all proven that whatever is like on X planet have different fucking materials that can surpass space travel or whatever fucking Star Trek putting into my fucking head.
space age metals.
Yeah, something like that. We don't know if that actually fucking exists. We don't know if those exist in other planets.
There
Like,
could be like way more elements we just don't know about.
yeah, and we don't even know if they would actually be like, you know, compatible with space. So
Oh yeah.
we will never know,
It's like
literally.
it could be like if you take this into fucking space, the radiation from the star of that solar system just makes that material blow up or something.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like it's and it's incomprehensible since obviously we also don't have that.
oh yeah.
So like it's completely pointless as to like ask if it's either aliens or it's just some random dude in a fucking crop field doing whatever. But I would say then yeah, aliens do exist because why wouldn't they? We exist.
Yeah, like it's bound to happen again.
Yeah,
It's
we're literally aliens to somebody.
I think the issue is just that like it could be a situation where we are the most like advanced within the range we can reach. So like
That would be believable.
everything else is just like microbes or some shit.
That would be believable, but I wouldn't like put my fucking 2 cents into it.
Yeah, like
Only because we don't know how far, like, other civilizations are, or how far or how
yeah,
advanced they are. So it's like we don't even know if they build fucking cities. We don't even know if they have civilizations normally. Maybe it's just
they
I
could
don't fucking
just be
know,
like out in the
one guy.
wild, like fucking chimps, just chilling.
Yeah, maybe it's just they're maybe they don't even need to breathe oxygen.
They breathe nitrogen or something.
They don't even breathe. They just survive.
Like, yeah, could be literally
Like
anything.
it could literally be anything. So it's like it's really pointless as to ask why, or sorry, if there are any aliens. Yes, there are aliens. I mean, it's just the logical conclusion, right?
Yeah,
No matter how many fucking planets or galaxies you count, you're literally not alone in the thousands or fucking millions of galaxies that we have. I mean, sure, out of all the planets in our solar system, that we're the only ones that, are on this planet.
it's like yeah, sure, I can get that.
But do you really think anything can grow from Mars?
Not currently, maybe a couple million years ago, but
Yeah, fucking Mercury. It's hot as shit in Mercury. You
oh,
really think anything can
that
fucking
thing is a
grow in
big
there?
ball of steel, bro. Ain't nothing growing on that.
Yeah, like it's just a really, really, like, I guess, good coincidence that Earth is the planet that hosted, like, I guess, the best, most fucking coincidental fucking resources that we can, you know, survive on. Like, people, some people barely believe in fucking dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
When, like, I can get it, right?
Hmm.
Since people can fake a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, they can make some fucking whatever fucking bones on whatever fucking T-Rex skull they found on, I don't know, National Park Geographic.
National
So
Park
I'm like,
Geographic.
oh yeah, it's believable that they might not exist, but you really think that?
I wouldn't bet on it. They're literally right there, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't matter like how much you don't believe in it. The amount of evidence that is there is very plausible.
Kind of weird that we got this far from talking about little green people.
Yeah, because it's more so the question of if there's anything other than us, which is the answer is yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
somewhere.
Why would you even ask that?
Like, there's gotta be no way that we're the only ones.
Yeah, we're not special, bro. Where do you think animals came from? They're not humans. We don't even know what the fuck's underwater, bro.
Well, I know one thing that's underwater right now.
Me?
No, that Titanic submarine.
Oh boy.
That was just a whole fucking clusterfuck, dude. They took no
Uh,
precautions.
that was a scam and a half if you think about it.
It's like, yeah, I'll take you down to the Titanic. Just give me like 200K. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll make a box.
yeah. I'll use a PS4 controller, PS3 controller.
That was insane.
Jesus.
That right there is an investment to fucking death. If they actually made it big, which no, that would be a disaster. But if they
Yeah.
did make it big, then everybody would be fucking dead if they were, you know, marine biologists or fucking deep divers or whatever the fuck.
If the audience they were targeting wasn't like millionaire billionaires, then it would actually be an issue, and the government would probably step in and be like, "Hey, you can't do this. That's gonna kill people." But since there's deep pockets involved, you know what else is insane?
Me.
Baldur's Gate 3. There
It is
are
pretty insane.
there are speed runs going right now
Speed.
for who can get to the sex scenes the fastest.
Oh god.
It's called the sex percent speed run.
What?
Current world record is around 3.5 minutes.
Huh?
Yeah.
That is really fast.
Oh yeah. I don't think people like some people can even load the game that fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even. I load the game for like a whole minute.
Yeah. That
Like
shit.
sometimes I don't even load into the game until 5 minutes later. I literally cook my fucking food and I'm still loading and I'm like, oh,
Cook your food and the fucking game is cooking your PC.
pretty much. That's why I'm overclocking my PC every time I open this fucking
Holy
game.
shit, bro. And it's like 130 gigs too.
I mean, the gigabytes isn't really a problem. It's just I have every single setting very fucking low, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter, right? It fucking matters because apparently it still won't load fast.
Got everything set to like the minimum setting. It says, yeah, it's still using like 8 VRAM.
It's not even minimum. I just have it on low. Everything on low.
Jesus.
But yeah,
Western game devs learn how to optimize challenge.
I think they've optimized it like as much as they can. To be honest, it's just the game is just way too big.
Mm,
As in, the game is full of things that you can do that are already in the game that are not added later on. Yeah.
yeah. It's also
So
probably an issue that's just ongoing with the entire like gaming situation right
yeah,
now.
that
Or
that's
like,
that's just gaming. That's just video games. Oh well, triple A video games at this point is that since like the games are so big, they look at the vision and they're like, oh, I want to make this, I want to make that, I want to make this, and you can only squish it down so much.
yeah, before it starts
So
like degrading quality.
yeah, so like yeah, I can see why it's like 100 something gigabytes.
Yeah. Plus, it's also just like D&D, so it's got us like you gotta have something for like every or almost every possible situation.
Yeah, you have like how many amounts of hours in that game, and I think not even like a whole year you can experience every single ending in the game. You have to play this game like how you actually play D&D through months and months of like a session or whatever, and then just you know play the game and read. Like most of the people that I heard complain about this game who don't play D&D games, that there's a lot of talking,
Yeah,
and that's also a lot of like memory space, and audio is a lot of memory space.
a lot of TXT files.
Yeah, so like yeah, I can understand why they would say that because sure, like I guess the I can't really say that, but the main appeal to me with Baldur's Gate 3 is the RPG elements, the
Mhm.
role playing, the classes,
Like
just
how
the
there's the
freedom.
whole like that whole like mechanic with Dark Urge, that kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that. Like all that, it's like it's to get immersed into whatever world they put you in.
Hmm.
So I'm like, oh, it's cool. But not a lot of people, not a lot of people really like reading, I guess.
Yeah,
So I guess I can understand, but are you really expecting something else from a D&D game to not have a lot of talking? I assure you that talking is all you do in D&D.
yeah, that's like the
Even
thing.
yeah, even when you're in an actual D&D session in real life with friends, you have to talk because you have to roll and you
Oh
have to
yeah,
tell them what you want to do.
oh yeah. And then you'd add like flavor fucking lines or whatever if you're into it.
Yeah, like even like just like that's the tiniest, simplest thing, like a fucking goblin, and be like, oh yeah, he wants to surrender, right? He might talk to you. You can either talk to him or just fucking straight up kill him. It doesn't really matter. So like, it's very uh, what's the word? It's the word that most companies don't really like using. Freedom of choice.
Hmm.
It's never freedom of choice, but always the illusion of choice
Mm, yeah.
for the other game companies out there. But yeah, like pretty sure everybody here has already heard that a lot of game devs are talking shit about Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah.
because you know apparently Baldur's Gate 3, a really good game, should not be looked at as the what was it? The standard for video games?
Yes.
Let me ask you this though. What the fuck is the standard for video games?
Yeah, what is the current standard?
Apparently
Because
Baldur's Gate 3.
what was it before? Like fucking
Elden Ring.
Warzone? I don't know. Like,
Like the biggest problem people had back then was Elden Ring, only because it was so good that people were hating on it because it was so good.
oh yeah.
You know,
Tale
usually
as
the
old as
people who do
time.
that. Yeah. Like if I were to tell you that let's say Hollow Knight is like the best game ever, and then people actually played it, the entirety of the gaming community, like everybody played Hollow Knight, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this shit is trash. This is like Mario, bro."
This
So
shit
like,
trash. It's not 4K upscaled 8 million FPS.
where's the guns at, bro?
Yeah, where's the guy with the photorealistic face?
Like, if I told you that, and then people started talking shit about Hollow Knight, and then game devs started talking like, "Oh yeah, you guys can't expect us to make a game like Hollow Knight," says Activision.
One of the biggest companies out there right now.
Yeah, you guys can't expect us to make a game like Elden Ring.
Yeah, we just don't have enough resources.
But you had resources when you made Sekiro with From Software. What are you talking about?
Who fucking knows, bro? They're just giving out excuses.
But like, I don't really know which game devs did it, but despite having known that they quote unquote took back their words against Baldur's Gate 3, because that's what Backlash does, it still doesn't paint a good picture for you, you know? You said it, that was your original opinion, and now you just took it back because nobody agreed with you,
Yeah,
and
fucking backpedaling.
that's that's how it goes, bro. Like what are you to say to what Baldur's Gate 3 does when they're like, "Oh yeah, we made a really good game and we're really proud of it." This game was in early access for a whole fucking year,
Oh
maybe even
yeah.
more.
And it still had more content than most games.
Like it they only released the first chapter in the early access, and people played it to hell.
Oh yeah.
They took everything in that first chapter and they're like, "Oh, this is what you can fix. This is what you can do. There's some bugs here. There's some bugs there. Like, there's a lot of things going on. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see." Like people actually gave feedback, and oh, it's so weird that the actual game developers took it and they're like, "Oh, let's use it." Isn't that weird? They actually listened,
Crazy how that works, bro.
and like, why is it so bad for a game so good to not be the standard? Why is that so bad?
I think it really just boils down to them being jealous.
That's pretty much it. Because if I told if I told you, okay, let me give you a good example. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Mhm.
That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
It pretty much broke animation films to a degree.
Yeah.
Now they all want to be Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yep. There's
Fucking
that one Mitchell's versus
yeah, Mitchell's
Machines.
versus
Even well,
Machines.
that's made by the same studio though, so that might not be fair. But fucking
Well, Puss in Boots.
Puss
That's
in
not the same
Boots.
one.
There you go. Intergalactic, the Kid Cudi movie.
Yeah, like if you are going to tell me that that's not the standard
Yeah.
of films,
Like the bar has been raised, bro.
yeah, it is something.
That's
Like
how progress works.
sure, it's like it's not the best movie of all time. I'm just saying that
Yeah, the
it has
second place.
raised it has raised a sort of uh, criteria of animation movies, animated movies. I mean, when you talk about anime films, what do you think put the standard up? I guess after every single fucking Miyazaki film.
Uh, let's see. Let me try to remember. 'Cause there's been a lot of like really well animated movies, but like even going back to like fucking Ghost in the Shell. But
Yeah, but that was a one in a time thing.
yeah,
But and nobody really copied that. I'm talking about movies that set the bar and pretty much everybody tried to like do the same thing.
hmm,
And I'm pretty sure it's clear that it's just Makoto Shinkai movie.
yeah, with a
Like
couple others, but it's mainly him.
it's mainly him and Your Name is like that movie,
Yeah.
that people talk about like, oh yeah, um what's the last anime movie you watched? Fucking Your Name. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. But like I don't know if you've watched a lot of them, but I've watched a lot of the movies like what he makes.
Hmm.
Some really ass and some really decent. Not really great, but they're all right. But yeah, that is the standard I was talking about. Like if you put this really good thing up in the air and be like, oh, why don't we just make something like that? But try to make it better. I mean, you might fail at making it better. It might even be ass, but at least you're doing something. Not just completely disregarding it and be like, oh yeah, that's not the standard. What is the standard? Fucking Mario? Fucking Puyo Puyo, bro? Tetris?
The Grand Blue anime.
The Grand Blue anime? Like, it's weird that people start talking about just some random shit and be like, oh yeah, don't expect this to make this game like this, you know? What you really expect the next Call of Duty to be doing like this? We're not expecting Call of Duty to be filled with texts like fucking Baldur's Gate. We just want you to make the main argument that people had with Baldur's Gate 3 and every other fucking game is that Baldur's Gate 3 is a full experience. It was 100% complete.
Oh yeah.
And and they don't even need to add stuff on it and I think they're planning on doing it anyways. So, like what do you say from that? It's never really 100% with other game companies, but when people saw Baldur's Gate 3, that's why they freaked out. That's why they talked about standards. That's why they were like, "Oh yeah, don't expect us to do that because we want to bring more money out of you in the next fucking 2 years."
Oh yeah.
Bungie.
The fucking switch from like a complete package product to live service in general in the industry is just so ass. Because like it was all right when it was a couple games that were live service, but now it's almost every game,
It's
bro.
every single game.
Like,
Every game that doesn't need to be live service. Do you really think that fucking Call of Duty should be live service? When all you do in Call of Duty is play multiplayer, play team deathmatch, control, search and destroy, fucking zombies sometimes.
and then the campaign
That
if
would
you're
be it.
into it.
No, that would be it because campaign is like a singular thing. The campaign can be
Oh yeah.
good. The Modern Warfare campaign is decent, but if you go straight into multiplayer, you are asking for help. When are they going to update this? When are they going to add this gun? Where are they going to put this map in? Why are you waiting? Just play another game.
And that's not to say like these two types of games can't coexist because there's a bunch of games that have both in the same game, like Ghost of Tsushima. Like,
Yeah, like Ghost
sh-
of Tsushima should never even had a multiplayer,
but then it did, and it was
but then
actually
it did.
good.
It did, and it had a more concrete, like I guess, loot system than like most looter, not really shooter games,
Just like
just looter games,
looter games, yeah.
games that have loot that have specifying qualities.
Games like Diablo, Destiny, fucking Warframe, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like all those games. Fucking Borderlands.
I think it turned out so well because they kept it pretty simple, like the whole like system that they had for the
And
online.
because they didn't have what's the word? They didn't really like think. Okay, here. Let me show you. Well, I'm not gonna show you anything, but let me tell you about let me tell you about the subject in the way of Patapon.
All
You, you're not gonna be confused after I say it. So Patapon, the first game,
right.
is I think it's clearly just single player. It was just single player. It was mostly just a run through of the fucking stages, and then you're done.
Mhm.
Patapon 2, it was just Patapon 1, but a complete game, but like it added pretty much everything that Patapon 1 did not have.
All right.
And here's where I'm going with this. Patapon 2 introduces online,
Mm-hmm.
and it, you know what the main focus was of Patapon 2?
Not the online.
Yeah, you're right. It was mainly single player. So it doesn't matter if you play single player or multiplayer, you can complete the game by yourself, right?
Mhm.
Okay, now going to Patapon 3, what do you think the focus was?
I'm thinking it switched over.
Yeah, it's switched over to the priority is now online. So if you are having trouble in your single player playthrough without having to backtrack and farm, it's because it was made like that. It was made for online. It was mainly like, oh, you might need like your other friends to complete this, or like just you can still complete it normally with single player, but you're gonna have to backtrack a lot to farm. And that game also has drops like armors, like fucking weapons. So it's never a guarantee that you're gonna be the strongest after this one run. So like going through what I said, Patapon 2 was mainly focused on single player, and Patapon 3 was mainly focused on multiplayer. So how is it possible for people to confuse on like why are we failing at X? Why are we failing at Y? Why is our multiplayer like suffering? And why is our single player dog shit? Why is the story dog shit? Because you guys put like most of your resources on one thing. I mean, look at Bungie. They are just now looking at things and they're like, yeah, we're finally putting a Crucible team up in the air, guys.
Again,
Again, like they already had one, but I guess they just got rid of them.
that's what it seems like. They just
Yeah, and
swapped them
and
over to
now
PvE.
and now they are making it again, and well, I don't really know what to say about that. So, like, if you put like all your fucking eggs in one basket, you're obviously gonna have a fucking problem.
Yeah. If you drop it, that shit's done.
Like, if, and it's even worse because why is it that every single fucking game out right now has to be like some sort of, I guess, decision that you have to make on whether you want this or not? Because that can't be it, right? Back then, when I was buying fucking video games, fucking WarioWare, bro, I was buying fucking video games like Ghost Recon, fucking
Army of Two,
like Army of Two, No More Heroes,
Crackdown.
Kingdom Hearts, Crackdown, Halo, like all those games, I know they are gonna be good because when you see the trailer, you're like, oh my god, this looks really cool, and then when you play it, and it was really cool. Nowadays, though, I feel like Destiny started this bullshit, but I can't I might be wrong about that. But as soon as we saw Destiny, that was it. That was the game. As soon as we got
Yeah.
Destiny, that it was the game. It was the game of all time after Taken King.
That actually kind of adds up because then all the other game devs and shit, they probably saw that Destiny was still like hyper successful in its second year, even though the game fucking lost its player base in the first year, right? And then they're like, wait, we can
Yeah,
do
we
that.
can do that.
We can just make a shit game, say it's gonna get better, and they'll buy it.
Well, they didn't really do this at first, but you do know what did put video games, I guess, at, at the stagnant point at they're at right now. Somebody's calling me. Hold on. Well, what did it to them, right?
I have a couple in mind, but I don't know
There's
which
only
one.
one. There's only one.
Hmm.
It's Fortnite.
Oh,
I mean, that's not even a question. As soon as they introduced the glitz and glamour of collabs and fucking crossovers of Fortnite and how it's succeeded because of, battle passes and season passes and whatever, that was it. Like, what more can they do? Because you can only, back then, you can only do one thing in Fortnite, and that was Battle Royale.
and save the world.
That's not Fortnite.
It was back then.
Yeah, that's Fortnite Save the World. That's just not Fortnite, though. It was literally a separate game for some reason.
I think they only had them separated because they had both the modes, so they wanted to like make sure you knew this isn't that and that isn't this.
Yeah, but now they have, you can't get Save the World on its own anymore. It's only a pack that you can get for the Battle Royale game, the free game.
Jesus,
So obviously you can see where their fucking money lies.
the item shop.
But yeah, that it was mainly Fortnite, but it only got worse when Destiny did it. Because why would you do that? You are a live service MMO, I guess technically, RPG, I guess technically, shooter, looter shooter that is obviously evolving and obviously building towards whatever the fuck you're building to. And people are gonna see that and people are gonna be like, I mean, sure, it's really sketchy, but damn, Witch Queen was great.
Yeah, and she's
So yeah,
coming back this season, bro. It's gotta be
yeah,
good.
like it's like that. A lot of people are gonna be like scratching their heads and they're like, why don't we do that? And then they do it, and then they make it worse. And then another game developer is gonna see it and they're like, why don't we do that? And then Diablo exists. I can't really say much about that because I never really played the game.
Same.
I don't own it.
I only
I
played
played the
3.
beta, I played the beta for 4, but I don't know why. I think my only problem was that I could not see shit. I feel like there was like a fog hanging over
It was like you had
on whatever I
cataracts or
was playing.
something.
Yeah, like I guess it was just the atmosphere, maybe, but I don't really know. If I, if I want to play like the first fucking area of that game with like fog all over my eyes, then no thanks, I guess.
But
But like, here's the one thing I don't like. Some some people need to stop. To be honest, I mean, sure, I want Destiny to be like a really good game because I love Destiny's theme. That is, I hate the, but it's so sad that I have played this game for so long. I've put so many hours into it
yeah,
that seeing it in this state is really like tiring and draining. So I'm like, do I really want to go back? I know I'm gonna go back anyways. That's the problem because they know that people are gonna go back.
yeah. It
So like,
it honestly is like a fucking abusive relationship.
yeah, it's literally an abusive relationship. So like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, people need to stop like forgiving them. Any type of company, any type of fucking game developer, they need to stop it. But obviously, that's not gonna happen. So if you're gonna tell me that Diablo 4 fucked up in like the first season, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry," they put up a stream. And they're like, "We're sorry, we're not gonna do it again," and that's it. That's all just words, though. I
Yeah.
mean, we haven't seen what happened, but
Only they can
pe-
prove if they're gonna follow
pe-
through or not.
people are still playing the game, so
That's
I don't
because
really
like
fucking know.
with any game, like the majority of the player base is not online. Like they don't go
Well,
on to like forums, they don't like keep up with news about the game, they just play it.
yeah, they just fucking play it, and it's the worst part too because if you know this game is bad, and you do know this game is bad because they're fucking your shit up, then why even bother? Like you, if people left the game, if people stop playing the game, they are going to look into it. They're like, why are we losing players? I wonder why, man.
Speaking of Destiny, uh Zavala has officially been recast after Lance Reddick's passing. He will now be voiced by Keith David, which honestly I feel like is the only option they could have gone with. So I don't feel like anyone else could do it as well.
I'm still of the same opinion of just killing off Zavala. But I guess since, well, obviously they probably didn't have any more lines recorded since I think his last lines were when Amanda died, right?
Um, it was week 8 of the season, I think. But the the thing is, they could have more like log like in the backlog because like they do stuff out of order sometimes. So there's probably some already recorded for the final shape in there, since that's the big like main launch they're focusing on. And then the seasons are like after that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bet on it though.
I wouldn't bet on it.
They probably don't have any.
They'll have like one or two at most, probably.
Yeah, like I was thinking about it. Like I feel like it would have been like the best send off for the character and the actor himself. Because I feel like, in my opinion, I just don't think Zavala is not Zavala without Lance Reddick. Because that's just not a thing to me. Since he's always been Lance Reddick.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like it was fine with Cade, I guess, because Cade didn't really feel like anything to me. even though I am supposed to be, a hunter, my fucking hunter vanguard, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead, right? Damn, it's the same shit. I felt the same way when they changed the ghosts because
Mhm.
it was cool that Peter Dinklage was voicing him, but
He wasn't
the
that good
that
at it.
yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
I
which
feel
is weird
like he could have done way better if they just had a different like audio director or something, like different ADR
because
guy.
it's weird because like if you think about it, like the voice actress for Exo Stranger is that fucking that girl from The Walking Dead.
Is it?
I forgot her name, but it's like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't expect like voice acting out of this person, right? But they actually did a pretty decent job because they're more so into acting rather than voice acting. Like how I would explain why Peter Dinklage sounded like that. He probably saw that the ghost was like robot, and then he would speak like robot.
Yeah.
But obviously, I like Nolan North more as a ghost.
He matches the energy better.
Yeah, like sure, it's like a bit a pitch higher than the first one, but I feel like it was the best choice.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I haven't heard Keith David yet, but there's just no way for me to not like feel some type of way
Mhm.
for them to just change Zavala. Well, Zavala's voice actor. It's like having a parental figure and then they change like in the middle of the night without you even knowing.
You just got a new dad in the morning.
Yeah, like, and then you get out of your room and then you just see them at the fucking table, drinking their coffee, they're wearing the same clothes as your parents, and they're like,
Hey,
"What's
sport.
up, son?" And then you're like, "What the fuck?
Who are you? Why are you in my
What?
house?
What are you talking about? I'm your dad."
My dad don't look like that. My dad looks like me, not you.
But yeah, it's like that. That's what it feels like.
Well, we're coming up on an hour here, so we should probably cut it there. Uh, Thanks, guys, for listening, as always. If you liked it, obviously like the video, comment, subscribe, even if you so choose. But we'll see you in the next one, I guess.
Goodbye.